Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome to my channel, Mint Conditioning, or whatever the heck I call it now. Anyways, my name is Ricky, and today I'm going to be doing a review of the top 5 Mezcos that, in my opinion, were the best that they released in 2020. 2020 was a pretty shitty year for a lot of people, but let's start this video off right. New year. Hopefully a lot of cool releases are going to be released by Mezco in this year. I know Conan's coming, that's going to be cool, but let's just start this off, and I'm going to give the runner-ups. These aren't my top 5, but these are the ones that I believe are the runner-ups and do deserve a spotlight. We're going to start with Baron Benz. Now, he was pretty cool. In my opinion, I like the original concept that Mezco went with. The articulation was good, the sculpt was good. The alternate head sculpts were cool. The Cthulhu style head sculpt was really cool. And also, by the way, sorry about all this. We're gonna have to borrow the Punisher's workshop for tonight because I didn't have another place to film. But he's ever so graciously letting us film tonight. No caps getting busted. But yeah, that's gonna be one of the runner-ups. He's a pretty cool figure. Overall, really cool. The tubes were a nice try, but I just don't think they work too well, so I don't have the tubes plugged into him. He also came with a bunch of other hands and stuff, but yeah, cool figure. Let's move on to another one. Alright, next up we got Cable, the PX exclusive. And yeah, the only reason he's going to be a runner-up and not one of my top 5 or whatever is because there's a lot of letdowns in this figure. First off, the height. You can see Punisher over there in the corner is about the same height as him, and that's not the case. Usually Cable's a lot bigger than him. Cable's supposed to be pretty big. And but yeah, it's a really cool figure. Other than that, I really like the suit. I like the way he looks. I'm gonna add a scarf on him, maybe alternate head sculpt. But yeah, it's a really cool figure. He comes with the spear. His eye lights up. I don't have the batteries in him right now. I'm swapped batteries to do something else, but didn't feel like putting them back in. I actually didn't even realize they were in, to be honest, till the video was already filming. So don't feel like going through all that trouble. Let's move on to the next figure because PX is cool, but the original Cable that they released was way cooler. They could have done a better job with this guy, in my opinion. Could have made him taller, could have done a lot of things. But yeah, moving on. And yeah, this was a really cool figure right here. Batman Supreme Knight. This is another runner-up. He's not in the top 5, but the reason he was so cool is that Mezco went with the magnetic cape system. That was evolution of action figures, in my opinion. Evolution of high-end action figures. They went with something new. They went with something, different. It was really cool, and I was glad to have gotten one of these. I also have the MDX edition. I don't have the PX. I need to scoop up the PX. This is a really cool figure, and they came with the wired cape, this cape, and you can actually take his head off, or not just his head, but the whole entire thing. Sorry, went to the floor. But you can actually take the whole thing off, and the whole magnet system was a really cool thing that Mezco went with. And in my opinion, it deserves at least a spotlight in the top, at least top 10 figures, but definitely not in the top 5 for me, just because I'm a Marvel fanboy. This is the Punisher's house, and Batman's just kind of disrespecting by being up in here. I don't want nothing to pop off, so I better remove him. But he was really cool. The other, the MDX came with a lot of accessories. This Batman came with a lot of accessories, and the articulation was nice. The suit was nice. They went with a rubber suit, just like the Spec Ops Punisher. They did a lot of cool things that were different on this figure, and I really enjoyed it overall. But we're gonna move on. Yeah, this is not top 5 still. The next figure after this will be number 5. So technically, if there was one, this is number 6. He's an honorable mention, and Yeah, it's a really dope figure. This is a Clan of the Crimson Dragon. It's a Gomez figure, but I have the alternate head sculpt on him. It's really dope. And he's really cool. He came with a shitload of accessories. Honestly, it was so many accessories I kind of became overwhelmed. I've never had an action figure with that many freaking accessories in my life. I guess that's how all the Gomez figures are. This was my first Gomez. He was really cool. Really cool though. Like this alternate head sculpt almost gave it like the effect that he's a member of the Hand, and I really like that because he paired up really nice with my Daredevil, and he's just loaded. I mean loaded with the accessories. I only have you know, a few of the accessories. We got size, we got, it looks like, you know, dachis or something, like little short swords. You got bow and arrow. He's got a katana with the sheath on his front. He's got kunais. He's got shurikens, or I can't remember if he has shurikens, but I know he had kunais, and I mean he was just loaded with stuff. I can just name it all day. It feels like he had so many hands, so many different varieties, things you could do with him, and that's what made it so cool. It made it kind of universal. I really like it. I don't know if he's exactly for me though. He's just a little too much. That's why he's not in the top 5. It was just too much for me. I'm kind of a simplistic guy, but it was just too much for one action figure. Gonna have to spread these accessories around and kind of spread the love. But if you want to army build, this guy would really be cool to army build, but I don't have that kind of money. I don't think a lot of people do, so he retailed for 90, but the aftermarket prices are going to be kind of ridiculous for him. But he's definitely worth looking at if you're looking for some Mezco figures to jump into with a bunch of accessories. He's the guy. A bunch of posability, the suit, I mean everything about it. It's really cool. Just didn't make it to my top 5 personally, but he might be in yours. You never know. But yeah, Clan of the Crimson Dragon Gomez. Yeah, this is the Blade MDX, and he's pretty freaking dope. He's got the katana, the holster for his pistol. My problem with him was the only thing was the magazine did not fit into the firearm. So other than that, I don't really give a shit. Everything about this figure is dope because I have the Toy Fair and I have the standard release. So this guy just, you know, topping it off, that was just, you know, awesome. It really was just awesome. Everything about this figure was cool. The posability, the tattoo, you know, the bald head, the sword, the vest. I mean, this is what really makes it differ from the other blades, is the vest and the sleeveless design, because the other ones have sleeves. One has short sleeves, one has kind of mid to long sleeve, and this one has no sleeves. Rocking the tattoo, rocking a tribal tattoo on the head and the neck, the pump shoddy with the shoulder holster, you know, that's a vampire slaying SMG. I don't even think that's an actual SMG. If it is, my bad, but I don't think that's a real SMG. I think that those are 2 fictional guns. But he has the it's not a batarang, but it's like a vampire boomerang, and you know, he spreads out and everything. It's just, everything about this figure is really cool. If you don't know anything about the Blade characters, you can buy the standard Blade. They all come with the same accessories, except for this one came with a pistol, a different design. I mean, it was really a cool figure. It was, everything about this figure was cool. Because the Toy Fair came with the red and black accessories, and like as far as sunglasses, the red and black sunglasses, I'm sorry, and the bald head and standard heads, and the MDX came with the bald heads. The standard release came with the Wesley Snipes style head, you know, the OG Blade from the comics. That's how he looked, and Toy Fair had all 4. So when we got this one, we got the other 2 bald head that it didn't come with the standard release. It was kind of cool, it just made it feel complete. This is so we're going to move on to the next figure. This is top 5. This is number 5. Let's go see number 4. Walking out there. Number 4 coming in is Gambit right here. Now, he was a really dope figure for this year. I was really excited, and it was highly anticipated to get this guy. Everything about him was just cool. I remember the Marvel Legends that came from Toy Biz way back in the day. It kind of gives it that same vibe. Everything about it, except for that ab crunch. That ab crunch kind of killed it, but you know, I can look past it because he's really just going to be in this pose on my shelf all the time. I don't really worry about it. And when I do a little bit of photography with him, he does, you know, he does poses that it'll work. You can make it work. It's all about the angle that you take him with. If you take pictures of him at the right angle, this figure looks really dope. Everything about like that pink metallic paint that they put on his vest, I don't know if that's the actual plastic that it was cast in or what, but it's shout out to Mezco for doing a really good job. The armor on his boots was cool. The designs, I mean, even if you take his jacket off, even the sleeves have designs. Like everything about the figure, the little tiny cards that you see in his hand really have everything printed out on them. The staff would have been cool to see it in metal, but I think a lot of people would have complained probably that it was too heavy and wore out the plastic. But yeah, it came with the alternate head sculpt, bunch of razzle dazzle effects, a bunch of pink effects. Now, it was a really cool figure for this year. That's why he's on number 4. The articulation, it's not all that great, but design overall, my love for the character, I'm going to give him the number 4 position. So we're going to move on to number 3. Number 3, it's going to give it to Moon Knight. Now, Moon Knight, oh man, you don't even have any idea how long I waited for this action figure. When I heard about Mezco releasing this, I had barely gotten into Mezco like in the end of 2018. And it was with Brown Suit Wolverine. Now, I was super hyped when I found, I don't think it was 2018, I think it was 2019. Getting my years mixed up. But when I found out that Mezco was going to release Moon Knight, I already had the Punisher, I already had Daredevil, and I already had Standard Blade. Or I was gonna get Standard Blade, but I knew he existed. But in my head, I needed those 4 for the Marvel Knights. And when Moon Knight finally got here, I was so freaking hyped. Like, you don't even know, I was so hyped up. The white suit Moon Knight. I already had the San Diego Comic-Con Moon Knight, but he was black and white, and I just wasn't used to seeing that. That's more of the new series, which I really dig, but the white suit, just something about the white suit just looks so dope growing up about Moon Knight. Moon Knight was one of my favorite characters of all time growing up. And this is my first Moon Knight action figure ever, and I'm glad that this is the first Moon Knight that I ever had. And I'm kind of spoiled because I knew the Marvel Legends one come out, and I just don't like it because I already had this one. And once you collect Mezco, it's like you just don't want to collect anything else. But yeah, this is definitely a number 3 worthy spot. And he comes with a shitload of accessories. He comes with the bow staff, the nunchuck, it's like a grappling hook style thing, and yeah, the crescent blades. He comes with the hands that almost give it that Frank Miller effect, where he sticks the crescent blades in between his hands, uses them as like a brass knuckle style thing. The cape is not posable, but I think that Harker Customs makes one for him. Thinking about upgrading, but I like the cowl too much. I like this cowl a lot. And I believe I'll have to take that off if I get the Harker Custom. So I'm just might leave him one original and get another Moon Knight just to do that. Don't know yet, but definitely number 3. Number 3 spot. So we'll move on to the next one, guys. But alright, the number 2 spot belongs to both Magnetos, in my opinion. He is dope. This is so cool. You don't even have any idea how much I love this action figure, how much I love the character. This figure right here, my love for him goes way back to where I was like 10 years old, and they released a Marvel Legends from Toy Biz, and he had the removable helmet. He was just so cool, and I didn't have him. My friend had him, and I was super jealous. Always wanted a Magneto action figure. And then became a grown man. Nobody could tell me no. My dad couldn't tell me no. So there you go. That's why I got both of them. Because these action figures are, oh man, they're so cool. A lot of people didn't like them. They thought that Magneto needed the trunks. Well, a lot of people didn't like that one because of the grinning face. Well, I'm here to tell you that grinning face is awesome. It just shows that the dynamic of Magneto's character, his emotions that he goes through on a daily basis as being the leader of Genosha, or of, I believe this one's from the Marvel Now Magneto, where he has Genosha like he always wanted. I don't remember if that was the exact name of it, but he owned everything. He was like the king. So we were all white, and he was so cool. He was just a real easygoing Magneto. So, you know, I get the smile. This Magneto is more serious, more intimidating. Like, he's tired of fighting humankind's shit, and he's just ready to fight back. So that's why they gave him the serious head sculpt. I get that. Now the wired capes, nice addition. Only the external part is wired, but that's really dope. And it has ribs in the back, and they both have different style of wired capes, which is I really like. He has the collared cape, just like the Marvel Now series, and it's more bunched up, like it has shoulder pads. This is a really cool action figure. Both of them use the same body, I believe, but the only thing I did not like a little bit about the PX Magneto was the texture of the arms. The texture of the plastic seems like they're using different plastics than I've seen on the other action figures, or maybe it's just the paint. I don't know, but definitely top 2 worthy spot just because of how much I love the character Magneto. And good job, Mezco. Keep pumping out the good stuff. I really like these 2 figures. Yeah. So give them my thumbs up, and they're definitely number 2 spot. So we're going to move on to the number 1. Now this is the action figure that I thought deserved the most praise, that I thought deserved the most, gratitude. It's had so much fun playing with it. It felt like I was a kid again whenever I brought it out, and there was a lot of reasons for it, and I'll tell you why. This is Dr. Nocturnal. Now he is, oh my gosh, dude. Oh fuck. I just think I broke him. This is the number 1 spot. And this is Dr. Nocturnal. Now I literally just dropped him on the floor. I had a mini heart attack, and I was just telling my girlfriend's youngest son, he was trying to help me out with the video and trying to hand it to me, and I was like, hey, be careful with him. He's the most fragile of them all. What did I do? I dropped him on the floor because he's the number 1 spot. And that's what you do with your number 1 figure. Throw that thing on the floor. But he made it, thankfully. That's not a very far drop, so I'm very happy for that. Thank goodness. We're gonna move on past from that. Let me go over the reasons that I fell in love with this action figure. The originality of this character was so cool. He had the communicator on his wrist. I was reading the comic book. If you haven't read the comic book, you gotta read it, or at least look and ask about why this figure is so cool. I could talk about him all day because he's so mysterious, but it's you almost got to use your imagination. He's pretty much a monster hunter, and it's an original concept character from Mezco, and he has his ray gun. He has the flamethrower. It's not even a flamethrower. It's almost like a ray gun that uses this X13 chemical, and it kills everything. But the mandible on his jaw is posable, and he has the goggles. He has an alternate head sculpt with the gas mask. And the ray gun was really cool. He has the Tommy gun, the grenades, and he also has that Dr. Nocturnal Phantom membership kit. I got that pre-ordered, and I can't wait till it gets here because I ain't paying that aftermarket price. That's ridiculous. This guy has blown up, and in my opinion it's for good reason, because he may be frail and tiny, but he's a skeleton, for crying out loud, that kills monsters and all kinds of crazy creatures. Now this figure, Mezco did a really good job in their planning, their advertising. Everything about it was, it was really, really cool. And I think that it deserves the number 1 spot. I think a lot of people will feel the same way. This figure is just, oh man, I literally played with it for like 2 hours the day I got it, and he had the flamethrower on, and he stayed in that position for a while till I did this video. But that's because it just, oh man, he looks so cool all the time. Like, you could just leave him in that one pose, and it's like you don't even need to touch him. He's perfect. It's a really cool action figure. They did a really good job. It's almost magical. It's weird how they can do that. It's art. I get it. This is an original action figure, and to me this is art. And I appreciate it, and shout out to Mezco for always making them really dope exclusives like this, Baron Bins, the Gomez figures, all that. And hell, even the Punisher, all the comic series that they do, everything about that company is dope, and you need to keep pumping them out, Mezco. Hopefully 2021 has a lot more in store for us. But thanks for everybody watching. Subscribe, like, comment, tell your friends about it. Tell me what your top 5 favorite figures were, or top 10. I don't really care. Just tell me your favorite Mezco figures. Tell me what you want to see from Mezco. But yeah, do all that. You ain't gotta listen, but it'd be much obliged. And have a happy new year, everybody, and I appreciate you watching my video. Thank you. Have a good night.